tell me, why will you be supporting Harambee Stars tomorrow? We'll start with you.
It's high time for the national team to take the country for another edition of AFCON. Yeah, so tomorrow they just have to win, nothing else.
Oliver Omondi is the name he was supposed to say. He did not say his name, so I'll introduce him for you. He's Oliver Omondi. A lot of people call him Malu. I don't know where the Malu name came from. But let's go to the next gentleman, the only man with the spectacles in studio today, Tush. Ijina Tush kwanza ilitoka wapi, and then you tell us your official name. And Harambee Stars tomorrow, an important match. Will they win it?
They have to. They don't have a choice. We only have one national team, and that is Harambee Stars. And we will have to support the team, all of us. So they have to win the game tomorrow.
Muturi Muya saying it in black and white, only one national team, not the only national team, but the only football national team here in the country, because we have plenty of national teams actually that we always go out there and try to support. Mariko Abuao, another Harambee Stars supporter, a crucial tie against Ethiopia, not the best of results away, but a point that we so much needed. Maybe a reason to give us some smile going to the return leg that will be played here in Nairobi.
To me, it's a win because the government has come up to support the national team, and it's up to the players to play their role. Yeah, the game is already won, according to me.
The game is already won. Mosh Jr., do you believe that the game is already won? A lot of people call you Mosh Jr. I know they don't know that your official name is Moses Mogendi. Dennis, sorry, Moses, Dennis Mogendi. Why am I calling him Moses?
I don't know.
I'm the Moses this other side. Yes. Dennis Mogendi.
Yes.
So what should we expect from Harambee Stars tomorrow?
Okay, to me, I think the boys have been performing so well, and due to the confidence from the Ghana's game, and we went out away. We got a very crucial 1 point. So definitely we know very well that we win tomorrow, then we are in the AFCON. So I'm very much sure that the boys will give their all. And now that we are Kenyans, we'll have to be proud of them and give them the all support that they need.
We need to be proud, but as our Harambee Stars fans, trust you me, we've not been the proudest of fans when we think about football, because the last time that Harambee Stars was in AFCON, 2014, remember 2004, sorry, remember what happened there? The tactician, actually, one of our very own, Augusto Mule, did what he was supposed to do, and we went there. We are trying to get a comeback. We're trying to go back there and maybe just say that we'll be able to get some impressive wins in the matches if we go to the AFCON 2019. For now, after getting and settling to that barren draw away against Ethiopia, the boys are back to do their business. They're training, they're sharpening their arsenal, and they're saying we ought to go out there and get a positive news for the Harambee Stars fans. Remember, at the same time, we always have promises when the national teams go out. A promise this time out coming from the DP, 50 million if they qualify for AFCON, at the same time saying that the team will get a bus. A lot of promises, but will these promises remain to be promises, or will they become a reality? But the boys are charging. They're saying we want to secure that victory. After settling to a barren draw away in Ethiopia in their Group F campaign, Harambee Stars charges are back in the training. Stars will need a win against the Walia Antelopes to keep alive their dream of making it to the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations finals that will be staged in Cameroon should FIFA uphold the suspension of Sierra Leone. It is a huge task and simple one, a mission that the government seems to be backing.
You have our goodwill, you have our support, and it is our expectation that you will rise up to that challenge and deliver a victory for yourselves and for our country.
We really try our level best to, match our opponents, and come Sunday, hopefully we're going to give the nation something to cheer about.
Stars settled to a barren draw in the first leg, and a win will take their tally to 7 points. This will secure one of the 2 slots up for grabs, and tactician together with foot soldiers know that this is not an easy affair.
I cannot promise the victory. I'm not a magician. I just can promise my player will give, I hope so, the best. I want to be proud of them. After, it's a game of football.
Tunataka kuambia mafans wakam kwa wingi, wakam watu support, alafu tutapambana tujaribu kuchukua maximum points.
The government scrapped the gate charges while other leaders have pledged to ferry the fans to the match venue on Sunday. To the Stars, the promises always comes in plenty, and today there was another set of promises.
We must have an official bus for Harambee Stars. And I want to commit that next month, that bus will be available for your use. If you give us this win, the government of Kenya is going to give 50 million shillings to Harambee Stars. But I want to tell you the good news is that now the government of Kenya has committed a special fund to ensure that all our sportsmen and women have the requisite infrastructure, will have the necessary financial support.
Promises aside, Harambee Stars coach Sebastian Minye had issued FKF with a pay me by 15th notice, and for now he remains focused while still waiting for his dues.
At the moment, it's just to be focused about the game, to try to win this game. It will be so amazing for us, for all of you also.
With 4 points the same as Ethiopia, Kenya tops Group F, while Ghana and Sierra Leone are tied on 3 points. It has not been a merry campaign season for the Stars, but on Sunday their quest is very simple. Win it against Ethiopia and believe after 14 years in waiting, they will qualify and sail through to AFCON 2019. Moses Wahisi, KTN Sports. A crucial and also a very important game for the Stars. The question is, will they be able to dance against the opposition while playing at home? The home advantage actually is something that is always very critical, something that maybe aided the Ethiopian outfit while they were playing at home. Trust you me, the fans knows how to come out in large number, Trish will agree.
Yes. The government also did a very good thing by waiving the entrance fee. So we expect a huge turnout. So basically, I think with that in mind, with the support that is going to be at the stadium, the boys must come to the show.
Are we really true football fans, Kenyans? Let me say Kenyans, and I'm just saying we because we always have a lot of matches here in the country. We have a lot of matches maybe some time away, but the number of fans that always goes to those stadiums, you cannot compare them with other nations that maybe Kenya boasts to say that we are a footballing nation when we compare ourselves with them. What exactly is happening? Why don't Kenyan fans actually go to support the Stars in the different games?
I don't think a lot of people in the country love football itself, because, for instance, when you look at the local league, we don't have numbers in the stadiums, and when the national team is playing, there's a certain number of fans who usually goes to the same matches every day. So for tomorrow, there's a lot to play for, and I hope by the government waiving the entrance fee, I hope it will boost the boys, because the Ethiopians came out in large numbers, but the results was still a barren draw. So there's still a lot to play for, and I hope it will be a big changer.
What exactly always happens here, Mariko? Because we say we love football, but the turnout does not speak volumes, does not actually complement that statement that Kenya is a footballing nation. I believe
the national team performance also plays a big role in the fans coming out. Some fans are demoralized because of the poor performance, but right now, most of the fans are behind the team, because we see what we saw in Ethiopia. We believe that it can be done. I believe so. The attitude will change with time.
The attitude.
And also to add on to what Mario has said, our marketing strategy also is very poor, because we hardly market our games. You find out that you're meeting with someone on the streets and you're telling them there's a Harambee Stars game, and they're asking you with whom. They have no idea. They don't even know there is a game. Also, our media houses don't hype our games. Sometimes they just touch and go. such that sometimes if someone is not very keen, they might really not get anything. They might not get that there was some advert about the game. So basically, even our marketing part of the game is very poor.
But the reality is not everybody follows this football, because if you are an adamant fan, then you'll want to know your national team is playing against you, Dennis.
Yeah, but according to me, I won't agree that Kenyans don't love football. For real, Kenyans love football. But there are those aspects that make people, one, they come for matches because our national team has not been performing well, like for so many years. So you realize that some fans just tell you that our team is going to lose whether I go or I don't go. Two, the way we've been, Kenyan fans, we don't have anyone to speak on behalf of us. We are just there. Thank God Kefofa is coming up. It's a body that fans should join, and they are doing a good job to mobilize. So by fans being together and knowing that they have leaders and some people to speak on behalf of them, then definitely we'll have a force that will be mobilizing fans to the stadium. Also, the marketing part of it, as Tushar said, it's really a letdown, because sometimes you realize that only online people, like the social media fans, will get in the stadium. What about that person who is not on Facebook, Instagram, or who can watch the television? So the federation should do something about that.
But looking from a point of view where we're coming from, maybe there is something positive about this Harambee Stars, something that maybe should be giving the fans some reason maybe to say we need to support this team even more. Do we have any reasons? Maybe a person might argue and say the Ghana game was that reason that we so much waited for, and finally maybe fans will say we have something to go out there and cheer when we support this national team.
Yeah, maybe the Ghana game may spark something into the fans, and after that they saw that we managed to beat Ghana at home, and that was a step ahead. And so the fans can see that if we can beat Ethiopia at home, it can be another plus despite the draw in Addis. So I think that can add something to the fans, and they can come out and support the team again from the Ghana win, and it can go onwards.
And a lot will be expected from these Harambee Stars. Let's talk about the lineup, the probable lineup, and we have in mind what actually lineup we had in Ethiopia. Do you believe that the Ethiopian lineup, the Kenyan lineup against Ethiopia away, was that the best lineup that Sebastian Minye would have said, these are my best players, let them go out there and dance against Ethiopia, and believe that we will get those points?
No, I don't think that was the best lineup if there was.
And I know fans always, the tactician, I know he will say that was the best, and the fans always have their take, and this is a take from the fans.
The reason why fans have their take is because we get to go to the stadium and watch these players. Most of us are ardent fans who go to the stadium every other game, even when we are not, when our team is not playing, we go to cheer other teams. So we get to see these players day in, day out. So we can be able at some point tell which player would fit where mostly, as opposed to the other player.
Let's talk about the lineup that maybe will be starting against Ghana. Who do you expect actually to be on that lineup, starting from the defense department, the goalkeeping department, moving forward? From the goalkeeper, for me, I'll say Matasi. The lineup that actually you're seeing here is just my pick. I'm saying we start with Matasi. We have Musa Mohamed, Brian Mandela, Abu Domar, and Marcelo. I think there was a slight difference because Marcelo and Abu were not supposed to be on that same lineup. But on the defense department, who do you expect to start? Philemon will be one of the pick for me in the defense department. I don't know, what's your general take? Defense and goalkeeping?
Myself, the defense is good, but I'd rather start Eric Marcelo. Yes.
In place of Abud?
Yes. Marcelo has a lot of pace, and we are going for win, so we need goals very early, quick goals. Yes.
Also his delivery. When he goes forward, his crosses are very good.
You seem to be agreeing with the pick of Marcelo in the lineup?
Okay, as I've watched Marcelo twice since he came back. The Ethiopian game, Marcelo was not very good in defensive. He was good in attacking. So if you ask me, I'll start both of them. Abud for the defense role, then Marcelo to attack. Because they realize Abud is good in defensive role than overlapping and attacking. So Marcelo is good in going forward and maybe falling back. So to me, I'll use Marcelo as an attacking left winger.
What about the midfield department? Who is your person for the midfield? I know for the midfield, the captain, Victor Wanyama, if he's not in that lineup, a lot of people have talked about how he stood out against Ethiopia away, different fans with different sentiments. But what's your sentiment in regards to Victor Wanyama, Dennis Othiambo, and maybe Ovel Ochieng? We also have the likes of Johanna, who's also an option. What's your general assessment on the midfield department?
I would love to see Johanna coming in the team because that midfield doesn't have a playmaker. Wanyama is a holding midfielder, Dennis does the same, and Ovela is an offensive player. And I think the coach has been too naive and too defensive. So the team needs someone to unlock the Ethiopian backline because no one was feeding Olunga in the last match. So that defensive part of the midfield needs just one man to protect it, and an additional midfield man that will open up the Ethiopian defense.
Mariko, do you agree with that?
Agree with him. Yeah. Joan Omolo should come in place of Ovela. He has a lot of experience and he's good going forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we have a lot of options because in that team, I know we have the likes of Anthony Akumu, we also have Joan Omolo, we have Paul Were, it's also another option. Francis Carter is also another option. Ismail Gonzalez, he was an instrumental person when we were playing against Ghana at home,
Yeah. He really played a very crucial role, especially in the midfield, when maybe locking the game. But in the midfield, when from my point of view, I will pick, because when we saw Paul Were come in the second half, he really brought some impact in the second half. So for me, I will start with Paul Were because he showed that that urgency is there. Then Joanna Omolo, I won't play him in this match because he hasn't played for Kenya. The midfield hasn't disappointed as much as so many people are talking of Victor Wanyama not playing so well in Ethiopia. But this is a man that so many teams play against. When these teams prepare, in fact, they prepare their teams around this guy. So you don't expect him to have that free role to play his game. So for me, the only change that I'll do is starting Paul Were in the position of Ovela Ochieng.
It seems I know a lot of options there, but for the strike, for obvious reasons, and this man from Gor Mahia, now he went to Japan doing some very impressive deeds there. Michael Olunga is the out-and-out striker for Kenya at this moment. We also have other strikers here in the country that people are saying they also ought to be given a chance. How do we balance this?
I think Olunga is still the main man, because when you look at the other strikers who are playing in the local league are not that sharp enough. Olunga just needs someone to feed him, and I know goals will come. So something has really to be done for him to get those chances. That's why I would prefer Johanna to start.
Do you think that actually we need to try other strikers in Kenya?
Maybe.
At this particular time, or maybe play two strikers, or even change the formation?
With the kind of pressure we have right now, I think we wouldn't want to experiment at this particular moment. What I'd say is maybe the corresponding games, which maybe supposing we win this game, which we will win, by the way. If we win this game, the other games we won't have as much pressure. Then at that point, maybe we can introduce other strikers and see how also they get in together with the other players. Because I'm sure most of them will pick strikers who've played with most of the players that are in the Harambee Stars squad.
And a lot of Kenyan fans have different prayers, and that is in regards to Sierra Leone. Let's take a look at the standing. I know on that standing, actually, Kenya now we are on the summit of the standing, only 4 points. Ethiopia also with 4 points, second on the Group F standing. Ghana and Sierra Leone follows suit, and a lot of Kenyans, a lot of even Ethiopians maybe are praying that this Sierra Leone side is not reinstated. That FIFA ban is something that a lot of us are hoping that will stick. But this shows that Kenyan football is growing. Maybe not the many games that we have played, but there is something positive, a reason maybe to give the Kenyan fans some reasons to smile and still to hope for some positive results.
I think it's due to the change of how things work in Kenya, especially what the federation has been doing. You know, some time back, you'll realize that there is a time we had a match in, I think it was in Eritrea. The match was at 7 and the team was here at around 2. They were supposed to travel until the time they were given a chartered old aeroplane. I don't know. So the way the federation has been working with these players, no allowance, complaints as much as they are there, but the federation is really trying to treat these boys well. So I think it's from that motivation that the boys have really decided to play. Another thing is the coach. You know, it took us very long time for us to really struggle play under Stanley Okumbi, but immediately the federation decided to take some professional coaches, more qualified coaches. I think it's the reason behind our success up to now.
Do you think that we need to do anything different to get better and maybe the same result and maybe to just still have that momentum? Or is there something good that is happening now that we still need to nurture and say, this is what is happening and we should stick to this style?
Myself, I believe 3 people play a very big role in Harambee Stars. First is the playing unit. Second is the government and the federation. Third, I'll put the fans. And everyone has played their role well. And to me, nothing need to change. You just need to perform well, and everyone will be happy.
Someone here is saying, sub-chief is saying, Eric Marcelo Uma, the young man, is very vital for tomorrow's win against